All right, boys, Beyond Light is officially here. God, it feels so good to finally say that. I have been playing for the past few hours. I have unlocked my seasonal artifact, and I have also upgraded it. So I'm here today to show you the entirety of the seasonal artifact, all the mods, the old ones and the new ones, and also tell you which ones you should be unlocking first. But before we get into it, you know the drill. If you're new, and only if you enjoy the videos, then feel free to subscribe. Beyond Light's here, and we're on the grind to 100K, so if you want to, hey, you know where the sub button is. I'm not gonna beg you. Also, twitch.tv/myfi with an underscore at the end is where I stream. I'm not gonna be streaming for the first few days Beyond Light just because I really want to focus on the YouTube channel here. But afterwards, you can catch me live over there. Okay, plugs done. Let's get into this artifact because there's some pretty cool mods in here. So as you can see, first up, I'm just chilling here on Europa. I got some new gear on. I got a new emote going. Let's go ahead, hop on into our inventory. As you can see, if you haven't seen the new inventory, well, it's kind of a lot darker now. It doesn't blind you anymore. So if you want to come on down here, this is where our artifact is actually going to sit. It's called the Fang of Xivu Arath. I'm not going to try to pronounce that middle name. I don't know what it is about seasonal artifacts. I just can never pronounce them. But if we take a look here, we already have 7 out of the 12 mod unlocks available, and we are getting a +5 power bonus. So let's go ahead, hop on right in. Now there are a few changes to how mods work, which I will be explaining, and there are new mods and there's old mods. So we're going to start off with column 1. These are all your overload, unstoppable, anti-barrier mods, but and here's the new thing about this season, they no longer go on the weapons. They now go on your armor. So remember before, you know, overload rounds for auto rifles, this would actually go on the auto rifle itself, so you couldn't run, you know, like a minor spec or anything like that on it. Well, no, now you can run whatever mods you want on the weapon that you want to use, and then you can just throw these mods on your armor. So getting us started in column 1, we have overload rounds for auto rifles. This is going to state landing sustained hits on combatants with any auto rifle you are wielding causes disruption, delaying ability, energy regeneration, and lowering combatant damage output. It then goes on to read, after any member of your fire team disrupts a champion, your auto rifles gained temporary bonus damage against champions. And of course, because it is overload rounds, it is strong against overload champions. Next up, and this is actually one that I unlocked, we have unstoppable hand cannon. This states, aiming down sights with any hand cannon you are wielding loads a powerful explosive payload that staggers unshielded combatants. Of course, it's strong against unstoppable champions. Next is going to be anti-barrier pulse rifle. Grants weapons the shield piercing little sign to any pulse rifle you are wielding, bypassing combatant defenses. Pulse rifles you are wielding gain a bonus to damage against barrier champions. So as long as you're holding a pulse rifle and you have this mod on, you're automatically doing bonus damage against barrier champions. And of course, it is strong against barrier champions. Next up, we have overload rounds for scout rifles. This states, landing consecutive hits on combatants with any scout rifle you are wielding causes disruption, delaying ability energy regeneration, and lowering combatant damage output. After any member of your fire team disrupts a champion, your scout rifles gain a temporary bonus damage against champions, strong against overload champions. So this is just like this, the overload rounds for auto rifles. The overload rounds for scout rifles works the same exact way. And then finally, for column 1, we have anti-barrier submachine guns. This is also another one I unlocked, and this one is going to mirror the anti-barrier for pulse rifles, except this one's just going to be on submachine guns. It states grants weapons shield piercing to any submachine gun you are wielding, bypassing combatant defenses. Submachine guns you are wielding and a bonus to damage against barrier champions, strong against barrier champions, of course. Now, don't forget that anti-barrier rounds also work outside of, you know, nightfalls or just activities with champions. Because anti-barrier rounds can also pierce other shields. You all know when those hobgoblins do their little invincibility thing and they can't be damaged, well, this can damage through it. Any shield in the game, either being held by a phalanx or even a taken knight, whenever he puts up his shield, this can just bust right through him. So don't forget about that. That's why I always think anti-barrier mods are one of the best. Now getting on to column 2. Column 2, we're going to have our targeting mods, our unflinching mods, our dexterity mods, and our reload mods. So first up, we have hand cannon targeting. This is just going to improve target acquisition, accuracy, and aim down sight speeds for hand cannons. Next up, we have unflinching pulse rifle aim. This one states reduces flinching from incoming fire while aiming down pulse rifles. Next up, we got scout rifle targeting. Improved target acquisition, accuracy, and aim down sight speeds for scout rifles. Then we got shotgun dexterity, faster ready and stow speeds for shotguns. And then finally, for column 2, we have Grenade Launcher Loader. Increases reload speed of grenade launchers. Nothing too new here. These still go on whatever armor piece that it correlates with. So, of course, reload mods are going to go on your arms. Dexterity mods are also going to go on your arms. Targeting mods are going to go on your helmet. Unflinching mods are going to go on your chest. But yeah, no, nothing has changed here. Same thing as before. Now getting on to column 3, and normally for the past 3 artifacts we've had, column 3 has been completely useless. I pretty much tell you all to never even try to unlock anything in that column, but here it's actually useful now. So here we are going to have more unflinching mods, more loader mods, but we are also going to find ammo finder mods here in the bottom 2. So starting us off, we got unflinching hand cannon aim, reduces flinch from incoming fire while aiming hand cannons. Then we got pulse rifle loader, increases reload speed for pulse rifles. Then we got unflinching scout rifle aim, reduces flinching from incoming fire while aiming scout rifles. Then for our ammo finder mods, we're going to have shotgun ammo finder, which is just going to increase your chance of finding ammo while you have a shotgun equipped. And then finally, we are going to have our pretty much one and only scavenger mod. There actually isn't another scavenger mod anywhere here on the artifact, but this is our one and only scavenger mod, and it is going to be for grenade launchers. Grenade launchers get bonus reserves when you pick up ammo. So you find a brick, you pick it up, and you already got more ammo. Now, before we actually get on to the rest of these, I do want to go ahead and state that all of these mods in the first 3 columns only cost you 1 energy. As you all know now in Beyond Light, there is no such thing as a affinity mod only when it comes to the weapons. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if you go into, here's my Lunafaction boots, as you can see, I have my new mod slot and all that stuff. If you go down here, I can now put, you know, submachine gun scavenger, which before was only available on solar, but as you can see here, my Lunafactions are indeed the void affinity. 1, 2, or 3 energy is normally what some of these would cost, but as you can see here, the grenade launcher mod, actually, if we hop right on over to my, let's see, right here, my transversive steps, I still have the old grenade launcher scavenger on, and as you can see right here, it costs 3 affinity. But now if I equipped it right here, that just disappears. So it physically removes the old mod that you had. So say, you know, you have the grenade launcher scavenger, and then you get the grenade launcher scavenger from the artifact. It just removes the old one because, well, there's no point for you to have it because this one costs less when in terms of affinity. And there's just really no point to have it because it's the same mod. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool when I saw that, so I thought I would mention it. Yeah, so if you buy a mod in here and it's the same mod as, you know, a standard mod, that standard mod will just disappear and it'll be replaced by your seasonal artifact mods. So now getting on to column 4, first up we have Momentum Siphon. This one states recharges your melee ability whenever you or a member of your fire team staggers a champion. Then we pretty much have the exact opposite of it, which is Surge Eater. Recharges your grenade ability whenever you or a member of your fire team disrupts a champion. Then we have Unstoppable. I don't know how to pronounce this. Something Condenser. And it reads Void melee ability, stagger unshielded combatants, strong against unstoppable champions. Then next up we have Thermal Overload. Solar and Stasis grenades cause disruption, delaying ability regeneration and lowering combatant damage output, strong against overload champions. Then finally, for column 4, we have Spoils of War, and this is a big one. Defeating a champion by using a finisher spawns heavy ammo for you and your fire team. Now notice how it doesn't state that it uses any of your supers. So if we hop on over into here on our Warlock Bond and we check right here, it's special finisher. As we all know, a lot of times in Nightfalls or GMs or just, you know, really any activity ever where you and your team are coordinating to get ammo via finishers, normally you'll run special finisher. And this states it drops, you know, special ammo whenever you do a finisher, but it requires 1/3 of your super energy. It physically states it on screen, where if we go back to the Spoils of War mod, it doesn't state it anywhere. It just says defeating a champion by using a finisher spawns heavy ammo for you and your fire team. So what if you stack, you know, the special ammo finisher and the Spoils of War? Well, now you're getting pretty much guaranteed special and heavy for just the low cost of 1/3 of your super, as long as you're finishing a champion. That's actually massive. But that is going to be the last mod in column 4. Now on to column 5, where we find Unstoppable Shotgun. This is the first time we have seen unstoppable rounds on a shotgun. I think this is the first time we've seen unstoppable anti-barrier or any champion mods in general on a shotgun. So this one states, shotguns you wield fire a powerful explosive payload that staggers unshielded combatants. And of course, it is strong against unstoppable champions. Next up, and I think I'm pronouncing this right, Pyrotek, something like that. Embrace. And this one's also huge. Casting a solar super restores you to full health and shields. Think about that. Anytime you cast a solar super, you immediately have full health and shields. Warlocks with Well of Radiance are pretty much just going to be impossible to kill whenever they pop their super. Golden guns, you know, you can kill a few enemies, your health gets down, you pop your super, bam, you got full health and shields. Titans, well, you're already tanks, but I guess this is just going to make you even more tanky. So yeah. Now getting on to Berserker. When your super ends, you gain a temporary bonus to weapon damage. The duration and strength of this bonus increases based on the number of combatants you defeated with your super. This is also a massive mod. So you pop your super, you go to town, you kill 10s, 20, 30 enemies, and then it ends, and now you're doing tons of bonus weapon damage, and it's going to last a really long time. I think this mod is also going to be a big player, especially if you can somehow find a way to combo a bunch of enemies into maybe like a major or an ultra or even like a boss, and then just do a ton of weapon damage with, you know, like a heavy weapon or a power weapon. I think this is going to be huge. Then getting on to Abyssal Charge. This one states, become charged with light by defeating combatants with void melee abilities. So as you all know, charged with light mods, Warmind mods, all those mods from last seasons are going to be huge this season, especially with the new Deepstone Crypt raid coming out. And me personally, I pretty much almost always run taking charge. Now it's going to cost me 3 energy, but this one is whenever I pick up an orb of light, I will become charged with light. Well, now I can actually take that off. As long as I'm running a void subclass and I have a void melee, I can take that off. And now I can just melee someone with my void melee, and now I'm charged with light. And this only costs 2 energy, and this goes on any combat style armor mod, so that's huge. And then finally, we have Thermal Blooming. Rapidly defeating combatants with solar or stasis melee attacks creates an orb of power for your fire team members. And that is going to wrap up everything in column 5. So now, what mods do I recommend? What mods are going to be the best? So the first 3 columns, it's really all personal preference. It just depends on what guns are meta, and then are there mods for that specific gun type? Or just, you know, what do you use? Like I said, it's all personal preference. The first column is your anti-champion mods. So just choose whichever mods here that, you know, correlate to whatever guns you use the most. Of course, I chose Unstoppable Hand Cannon just so I can run this with Ariana's Vow. So I'm doing double anti-champion things at once. I got anti-barrier on Ariana's Vow, and then I got this on my armor, so I can be doing 2 at once. And then I also chose anti-barrier submachine gun just because subs are really good at ad clearing. And well, if you have this on a sub, then you can shred through any enemy that might have a shield, whether that be a hobgoblin, a phalanx, a taken knight, or just really anything. Anti-barrier on submachine guns are super, super nice. But then column 2 and 3 are both completely personal preference. And now getting on to column 4, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see myself getting Momentum Siphon or Surge Eater just because these mods really rely on champions, and not every activity you do has champions in it. Now, when it comes to this mod, the one that I can't pronounce, Unstoppable something Condenser, unless my team needs me to stagger unstoppable champions, I don't see myself using this one too much either. I really see myself using Thermal Overload just for the ability to disrupt enemies with stasis or solar. I think this is going to be a big one. You know, overload champions aren't going to stand a chance whether you're using solar, which me being a warlock, I'm going to use solar a lot because, well, of course, Well of Radiance. And then, of course, I'm going to be using the new stasis subclass. And then Spoils of War, I'm also going to be picking up just because this one's going to be huge, especially if it doesn't use any of your super energy. And then for column 5, I already know which ones I'm getting right off the bat. I'm getting this Pyretic or Pyretech Embrace, just so whenever I do cast my Well of Radiance, bam, I have full health and shields. And then Berserker is also going to be huge in case I'm using like Dawnblade, I'm clearing ads, or say I'm using Storm Trance, I'm clearing ads. I clear a bunch of ads, and then I come out of my super, and bam, I'm doing a ton of weapon damage. And then finally for this column, Abyssal Charge, which is going to be huge, especially if you use a Void subclass. You know, if you're a Bubble Titan, if you're a Devour Warlock, if you're a Night Stalker, you know, you get a kill with your Void melee, and bang, you're charged with light. And charged with light builds and mods right now are huge. They're going to be a big player in the world's first raid for Deepstone Crypt. That is pretty much going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm still out here emoting, freezing my buns off out here in Europa. It looks like the snowstorm has calmed down a little bit. Let me know if you all have gotten your artifact yet. You know, what you all are going to be upgrading into, or if you all can just even get on the servers, because I still have a few friends that have yet to even get on the servers. Let me know. If you did enjoy the video, then feel free to drop a like on it. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.